Hello everybody and welcome to another video about the Round Britain Climate Challenge. Today we're speaking to Eric from Countersin, who's joining us specifically to talk about the Guinness World Record that we're trying to break alongside Countersin. Hi Eric, can we start by finding out a little bit more about Countersin, please?
Yeah, Kate, it's great to be with you. So Countersin is a global movement that is seeking to get 1 billion people between 2020 and 2030 to take personal action on climate so that they can reduce their carbon footprint and so that we can show our leaders that they need to be ambitious in delivering the systems change.
Wow, 1 billion people. For anyone watching who's not sure, the current global population is estimated to be about 7 billion. So you're asking 1 in every 7 people to sign up. That's a huge number. How do you plan to hit that many people?
Yeah, so we're trying to reach people through the things that they care about. So whether you're a sports fan and you love football, we're doing football fan activations, or you love culture or media or arts, or maybe your employer in your workplace or your school or your university, the communities that people are part of. We're trying to make it easy for people to take action together, because I think we all know that my action alone won't solve the problem, but that if we act together, we can add up to something bigger and really show that there is a very large percentage of our population who care about this and who want a future and a healthy planet to live on.
Absolutely. And I think that's so important that any student watching this realizes that their individual actions together can join together to make a real difference with climate change. So I think I've already partly answered this question, but why did you want to be involved with the Round Britain Climate Challenge? Why did Countersin want to work with that particular project?
Yeah, so first of all, I think Sacha Dench is amazingly inspirational. Anybody who's willing to strap themselves into a paramotor and take those risks to not only highlight, what it is that birds and creatures, face, but to make it, give us a spotlight as to, and to see from the air, the earth that we all care about, and to bring attention. I think that was really compelling and really inspirational. And I think that we need some big epic moves. We need to do things that are different, that kind of cut through and make people think, wow, if she's doing that, what can I do in my life? And so I think our response is, what can we do? We can try and make it easy for every community around Britain to lean in, and people from around the world who are inspired by Sacha to take action in their own lives, and to show them what the impact of that is, and show them the carbon that's reduced, and show them what we can do together.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you. And we're going to find out in a moment just how it works in terms of Countersin. But before we do that, why is it so important that we take this climate action?
Yeah, well, I could give you the reasons why it's important for me. I think the really important thing is for everybody to think about, what do they love that's worth protecting? For me, I've got 3 kids. I love the ocean. I love the sound of the bird song in the spring. I love being able to, roll around on the grass and make those daisy chains with my 7-year-old daughter. Like, I've got lots of things that I think are worth protecting and worth acting. And I think each of us has an answer to that ourselves. And the important thing is that we figure out what that is, and then we start to talk to our friends and our family about it, and we start to say, like, this is worth acting. Because I could tell you about the science and the heating and the carbon and the climate change, but for a lot of people, what's worth protecting, is their local seashore, their local park, or the clean air that they want to play sports in their city, or the street that they live on. And I think whatever it is that's worth protecting, that's the reason why everybody should act in your local school, in your local community.
Well, thank you. That was an inspiring message. And I hope many of our students watching this would know about climate change and would know why we need to take action. So perhaps we need to listen to Eric and go away after this video and think about what we want to protect and what it is we are fighting for. With that in mind, then, let me just tell you a little bit about how to make a Countersin pledge. If you go online and type in Countersin, you will be taken to the website. And it's very, very easy to click in the top right-hand side, take a step. And when you click on that, you will see a list of different actions that you can take as part of the Countersin project. Select the pledge that you're going to make and follow through all the different steps until at the very end you get an email confirming what that pledge is. When you then click on it and confirm your pledge, you are part of the Guinness World Record. So my pledge, I've looked today and gone online, my pledge is to eat more plants and to reduce the amount of meat in my diet. And I've gone all the way through, had my email, and I'm really proud to be part of that Guinness World Record. Eric, what do you think students could do? What could teenagers do in terms of climate action? And what counters in pledge do you think we should consider doing?
Yeah, well, first off, high five on eating more plants. So that's something that I've done. I'll tell you about in a sec. I think, well, if you want to start with your diet, eating more plants, or maybe buying stuff that's seasonal, there's steps for that. If you want to think about how you get around, maybe like walking or cycling more instead of jumping in the car, is a step that you can take. If you're thinking about the clothes that you wear and fast fashion and you want to do something about that, you can recycle clothes, you can donate your clothes, you can buy secondhand. There are steps there. One of the most important things you can do is you can talk to people, talk to your friends, talk to your family. There's a step exactly for that, because we got to get everybody talking to everybody that they know and saying, here's what I care about. What do you care about? What can we do together? And take those actions. In my own family, we first started with diet like you did. So we're definitely cooking with more plants and less meat, and shopping seasonally and buying stuff. We also, I've in my workplace, I've engaged with my colleagues, and we're changing the practices in our moving around less, flying less. We also have, I've got a pension plan. I've actually changed my pension plan provider to make sure that the things that are being invested in for my retirement are things that are good for the planet and good for the earth. So I've gone through almost all of them. The one I'm working on right now is telling my local politicians and my local councillors what they can do to help support climate action in our community.
Fantastic. And I think you make a really important point there about your investments, because a lot of students watching this will be far too young to be thinking about investing, but it's a really important part of climate action. So for anyone that's unsure, when you become an adult, you start saving for your pension and you start putting money away for your retirement. And a lot of people put that money into investment pots, but they don't know where that money is then going. They've given it to a company to look after, to hopefully grow into a bigger amount by the time they retire, but they don't necessarily know what that company is using their money to invest in. So a lot of adults are now sitting down and saying, hang on a second, if my money is going into fossil fuel expansion, I'm not happy about that. Or if my money is going to companies who are not taking climate action, I'm not happy about that. So Eric makes a really important point there, that he has specifically looked at his investments and said, hang on a second, tell me where you're putting my money and let me make sure it aligns with the movement I'm doing to try and help tackle climate change. So thanks, Eric, a really important point.
Yeah, I've got one more easy one for you, Kate. Anybody can dial their thermostat down and put on an extra jumper. There, that one's in there. I remember we did that. I know as things are warming up, that's less, but I'm sure sometimes in the British springtime, you've got reason to keep the thermostat down and put a jumper on.
Absolutely, thank you. So thanks, Eric. That was all the questions we were going to ask today, and hopefully everyone now is going to end this video, pick up a device and go on to Count Us In and make their pledge. Remember, you have to go all the way to the end to confirm your email to count for the Guinness World Record. But please do it. Please go away, think about what it is that you want to protect and what you can do to change your behaviour so that we can all work together to tackle climate change. Thank you.